Ooh, no, yeah, it's getting smoking hot.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a 2011 Mini Cooper Type S with a no crank, no start condition. The initial scan tool data and OE diagrams were a bit lacking, so we turned to aftermarket diagrams and pulled out the lab scope. After a thorough diagnostic journey, we discovered the culprit, a faulty clutch pedal position sensor. It overheats when the clutch is pressed. It's shorting internally. And I found out by surprise. Almost burned me. So let's dive in and see how I figured this out. This is what I'm talking about. This is how we like doing Mini Cooper scans. It runs through super quick. Okay, what do we got here? This thing obviously runs kind of bad. Outside temperature sensor above signal. Catalytic converter. So for a no crank, no start with a manual transmission, I'm assuming that we have a clutch problem. So absent, 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 present. Instrument panel signal fault. Airbags. Cluster, outside temp. Wheel electronics undefined. Okay, that's a starter. It says absent, car exit. Oh boy. Oh boy. Got a lot of codes here that are a lot of codes. Most of them are absent. We have comms with everything that is scanned. So what we're going to do is erase the codes. Nothing came back. So what we're going to do next is go ahead and attempt to crank it, and then we're going to do another scan and see if we have any additional faults. Look at this beauty here. And it's a push button. We're going to go ahead and push the clutch in. Push the clutch, push the brake. No crank. Displays the key, but it does not have a line through it. So the key is okay. But we get nothing here. Okay. Nice. Gotta love you, a Mini Cooper. Anyways. Let's go do our fault scan. Okay, instrument panel signal fault. Came back, present. Temperature, so that's probably the problem, is it's the temperature, outside temp, it's not being relayed over the CAN bus. So again, I am thinking that we have a problem with the neutral safety switch, clutch position, whatever it's called, I'm not sure. Terminals. So this right here, terminal 15 wake up accessory. I don't know exactly how that works, but it's always a low voltage for some reason. I assume that it's accessory position, so maybe it's the one touch instead of two. I'm not sure. Wake up, terminal 15. We got voltage everywhere, terminal 50. So that's our starter, right? So what we'll do is we'll go and check while we're cranking if it's sending a terminal 50 out. That is in the CAS under terminals. The keys for sure most likely recognized. It's going to be recognized because it doesn't tell us on the dash of the keys, not the problem. So we're not going to go there. First, we will go to DME. Let's look at some data on the DME. What do we get? Automatic engine start stop, not USA. Fuel pressure, misfire, operating values, physical hardware, fuel system. Fuel system, okay. Wonder if there's a EGS or transmission. There is not. Okay, let's look at a wiring diagram real quick. And okay, let's see. Okay, I want to see the starter. We'll try OE. Automatic engine start stop, convenience start. What? Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to go aftermarket. If I was using ISTA, it'd be a lot better. But we're not. So transmission control unit under left side of dash, automatics. We don't have that. We have manual transmission, which has a clutch module under left side of dash. That also communicates to the DME. We have power that goes to the CAS. Okay. There is a start stop unit, which is the starter button. So the CAS is the one who sends the control signal to the starter to start. So that would be our terminal 50. Again, I think that the problem is going to be this clutch module. Now, is there any data for the clutch module? That's what we need to know. Now, is there any data for the clutch module? That's what we need to know. Huh. I don't know what we're going to find, where it could be at. Okay, so battery voltage is low. Mass air is good. Engine temp's good. Intake temp's good. That's it. Wow. Whole lot of nothing, guys. That's going to be our calibration, our part number. We basically get no data. Fantastic, right? Boy, I wish I had ISTA right now. Oh, because diagnosing anything European with aftermarket tools is very difficult. Just because you don't have anything. So anyways, clutch module. So there's, what do we got here? I don't know. I don't know what we're dealing with. What this blue wire is. I don't know what this violet wire is. And I don't know what this black and red wire is. This is all that this has. So one of these has to be a power. I would assume that the violet and gray could be a power. I don't know. One of these two is going to be a power. This is your ground. This is going to be a signal wire from the clutch module to the DME to say, hey, look, you're in neutral. It's okay to start. So it's one of these two is going to be a power. And perhaps a return. I'm not sure. Kind of like, power goes in, power comes out, depending on the clutch position. So that's probably what we're looking at. We're going to go take the scan tool over to the vehicle, and we're going to see if we have terminal 50. Okay, so I know this is super difficult to see, but we're back to our CAS module. We're on our data. Let me zoom you in a little bit. So terminal 50, 0 volts. Current of terminal 50, 0 amps. Let's go ahead and hit that start button. And we get nothing. So it's not even attempting to send power down the starter wire. So what we need to do is see if the clutch module is doing its job. Let's find out where that thing's at. Clutch module. Removing and installing, replacing clutch switch module. Okay, so this looks like a clutch pedal probably. That looks like a hydraulic line. Let's see here. 1, disconnect plug connection, lever out clutch module. 2, from clutch master cylinder. 3, clutch module. 1. I see some wires right here. It's really hard to see. Super blurry, but there's some wiring. So we're probably dealing with a faulty clutch module. Let's see here. Locations. Oh yeah. Much clearer view. Same deal. Same component, just a much better picture. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So what we want to do, description and operation, loose clutch switch. This is loose. Clutch module secured with cable ties. Huh. Testing and inspection. Wow, fantastic. All right, so I guess that's it. Let's do some wiring. We're gonna use the scope. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a power and a ground type deal with the test light. We'll use the lab scope, and we should figure this out rather quickly, I think. All right, so we're gonna unplug our we're gonna unplug our VCI, and we're gonna plug in our breakout box. These DLC breakout boxes they just come in such handy when you're working on the inside of a vehicle and you need a power or a ground source, especially this one, the Line Spy from AES Wave. You can see these LEDs, so I know I got good power and good ground. I got comms actively happening. Fantastic tool. I have my 2 test leads that I'm going to use today, and then I picked up some new connector, new piercing probes. We'll give these a shot. These are pretty cool. You squeeze it like so and release to pierce the probe. So we'll see how these do. I always look for new options. Again, Phil's probes are the absolute best in my opinion, but they also have a hefty price tag. What is this? Huh. Some sort of a cap. This, there's something that has been broken here. Hopefully it's not related to the vehicle. All right, gas pedal, brake pedal, it does a position switch, and clutch pedal. So let's see here. It's tight. You got this thing here. All right, there it is. Can you see? We have our purple, our brown, black with a red, and blue is something. So it's right there. Very easy to access. It's perfect. Let's get on those wires. So brown is ground. I'm not going to check that just yet because that's going to be done with a test light. I'm going to go for blue and black and violet and gray. Those are the 2 that we're going after. You unravel my test leads real quick. Fast and easy. Let's give these new piercing probes a shot. What did I say? Violet, right? Was one of them? Okay. Oh, it missed the wire. You see, there's all kinds of learning going on with these probes. Already not a fan. I do not like that type of stuff. Now maybe it was just, I don't know. You know, they're designed for bigger wires. I take it. It's now blue and black. But it is nice to be able to. The idea is very well thought. It's just the design isn't the best because it's designed for larger wires, which may be a good thing. You know, I'll give these things a shot as far as testing them with flow of current, you know, because a lot of the other ones, Phillips probe, you cannot flow any current at all. You know, maybe these can handle it. My Pomonas can't flow any current either. They don't like it. Oh, it's bright in here. Anyways, well, you know what? We're not going to split screen. We're just going to go full on oscilloscope. Got our two channels. Get both my feet in here. And 50 milliseconds is not going to be a good one. We're going to go at 500 milliseconds per division. The scope likes to operate at that speed, and that gives me plenty of time to see what's going on the screen. So we installed the key, and look at that. We had, let me switch over to 10 volts per on the screen, and we have power coming out, going to, I do believe, and when I press here, I'm pushing the clutch in right now, and we can see that there is some movement, but it's not pulling. It seems to be pulling the voltage a little bit, but it's not pulling up. So I don't think that this thing is functioning properly. So what's the next step? We're going to go to the black and red wire. We're going to go black and red, and then check the brown as ground. So the purple wire had power because that was the green trace. The yellow wire was weird looking. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our black and red now. Right? We'll puncture that pretty good. And then we're going to go back to the scope, see what we got. This red one is the signal to the PCM. So now green should still be, yeah, green is still where it's at. Now we have nothing there. Oh, I pushed the clutch switch in, and we do have something going to the PCM. So I believe what we were seeing earlier was a ground from the CAS module. So this thing is acting as it should, I do believe. So the next step is going to be to check the ground. I mean, from what I can tell, everything is okay with the clutch switch. So we might have a problem with something else. We'll see. This is going to be tough, but it can be done. I think you guys can see this. I already poked it once. But all you want to do, I find something to leverage it up against, and we can see it's lighting up. I got the test light on power, touching this brown wire, which is ground. Okay, let's go to key. Let's see if we can't, key number 1, key code, ignition key, oh, is not in the ignition lock. Okay, let's go ahead and put it back in. It recognizes it. Okay, okay. Programming. 268, which that is correct for our VIN. Inputs. Clutch. Wow, there it is. Oh, look, see? Let me get you guys zoomed in. There's our clutch, not depressed. And I am depressing it. So the CAS module is not seeing that the clutch is depressed. Steering lock fault counter not installed. Doors, hood, stationary. So it is the clutch that's the problem. And I press the brake, and the brake light is functioning. So 100% the clutch. So that's what I thought it was. I thought it was the clutch. If I'm key on, clutch is not depressed. This is power going in. This must be the signal return. I'm going to push the clutch in. We have no change, but we did have change going to the PCM. So I do think that the wire is possibly pulled to ground because this power pulled down whenever I connected those wires. So I think that this wire is possibly shorted. I wonder if I should cut the wire. How can I figure this out? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go open circuit. Here we are. And now we can look and see how the scan tool operates. See if there's any change. And without even doing anything, I can tell you that the scope does not change. Indeed, it does not. That wire is still pulled low. Okay, let's take our green wire. Let's go back over to our red. One last time here. And that is not battery voltage. So while we're on our red, actually, yeah, it's one of them is the green trace is going to be 11.03 volts. And the yellow trace is 13.11 volts. So even open circuited, we have a 2-volt drop. So our green trace, let's come down here. Our green trace is the black and red. Black and red. Let me go ahead and plug it back in. So as you can tell, when we plug it in, it pulls that green trace down to ground. I push the clutch in, that green trace pulls up, but it does not pull all the way up to battery voltage. It pulls up to 11 volts. Now I wonder if I can jump that up to battery voltage. Okay, really hard to do. I got my test light to battery voltage and I'm jumping that green wire and it's still displaying not pressed. Sheesh. So this brings us still to that question. Who has failed? It's not wiring. The wiring is good. We know this because with the clutch module unplugged, we have voltage on both of these wires. And with it plugged in, we have a change on this wire when I press the clutch. Nothing happens on this wire or this wire. We have a good ground. We checked it with a test light. It appears that the clutch module has failed. So I am going to most likely recommend the clutch module. Let's think about if there's anything else that we can go through and check. After further inspection, I found some more things. Ooh, no, it's getting smoking hot. All right, so me trying to touch that thing, it starts getting hot.
So granted, it's only gonna read. It's hard for. So we're getting like 78 degrees right now, right? Ambient temp. Let me see if I can't find it. I'm gonna push this down. No, didn't find anything. But it's hot. Hot. Can't get to it. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna stop now before I catch the car on fire. It says say 198, 99.8, 99.8. It's getting smoking hot. Okay.
So that wraps up the diagnostic journey on this 2011 Mini Cooper S. Turns out a faulty clutch pedal position sensor was shutting the whole system down, and even overheating when it was being pressed. It took some scope work, diagram hunting, and a bit of persistence, but we got there finally. If you found this helpful or interesting, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments if you ever chased a no crank like this. Thanks for watching Key On Engine Off. See you on the next one.